What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to take you guys through a quick story of what happened to my knee and an update of where we're at. And so let's get right to it. July 24th was the day. It was a Sunday. I had gotten picked up earlier in the day to go to K1 Speed. So we get to K1 Speed, do our thing. And once we finished, I saw that they had the little platforms of first, second, and third place. I went ahead and did 2 single leg box jumps onto that with my right leg. And I immediately felt a sharp pain on the medial side of my knee. And I went ahead and did it again. So I did 2 box jumps. And then I told myself, oh, I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna tear my ACL. Till then later on in the day, go ahead and tear my ACL. So I pretty much just jinxed myself, or I think it was one of those things where my body was a ticking time bomb and it was just a matter of time. And that was the clearest notice that my body was giving me. It was like, yo, chill. And so let's get to the actual accident. I pulled up to the gym, might have been a little crossfaded, you know, the vibes, because the idea was to just kick it on a Sunday, drink with the boys. But my girl ends up texting me as she's going home, like, hey, let's go to the gym. And I was like, sure, let's go. Only because we had just started a competition, or she had just started a competition, and I was gonna support her. I was gonna be taking her to the gym so she could get her cardio in there. But this time, things didn't go according to plan. The plan was to get to the gym, do a quick hour sesh, because it was Sunday, getting it out. But obviously, if you know me, I just kind of get distracted and always end up going to the basketball court. And lately, that had been the issue. I was playing too much ball. I wasn't working out enough. And I knew it because I was getting a bunch of little minor injuries that could have been prevented to an extent if I would have worked out and not balled as much. But I was just feeling myself. My shot was getting better, my handles, just my whole game was getting nice, and I was loving it. And so I just wanted to compete. I end up getting to the gym. I go upstairs and I'm warming up, and I was like, let me see, if people come, I'll play. And there was maybe about 2 heads in there. I was like, I'll just go back down. But then some people pull up, and I was like, I'm changing. The guys are talking to each other. And then homie's like, hey, you're Mr. Clamps. Like, you were the defensive guy, blah, blah, blah. And then homie's like, I still am. I was like, cool, like, let's get a solid basketball session here. We're going to play 3-on-3s. And so we go ahead and do that. I'm getting worked. Homie's picking on me. And I want to say that maybe the state that I came into the plane wasn't the best one. I think the beers really did have a little effect on me, but we end up playing. Homie gets a bucket, gets another bucket. I get a block, then I get a bucket, then he gets another bucket. And so they're just feeding him, trying to obviously pick on me. And I was like, run it, let's go. I was giving him kind of the way on some of the plays, and he was quicker, more athletic. He was nice. So he got his points. He was doing it. And then right before the accident, one of my teammates was like, hey, you want me to guard him? I was like, nah, like, me pongo las pilas right now, don't trip. And so I go ahead and try to intercept the inbound pass, and I literally just stepped. I stepped, and I felt my knee, I felt the 2 bones just boom. And I was like, I went down, and I was like, I'm done. Like, that's my knee. I'm done. And I mean, I've had a bunch of I've had some injuries in the past. I've had ankle sprains, like pretty common, but I had been pretty healthy for the past 2 years or so, as far as not getting any gnarly injuries. And so as I'm on the ground and I'm just like, damn, like I'm done. Like I knew it. They go ahead and pick me up. As they pick me up, I was being careful, and I just barely put any pressure on my foot, and my knee again just slid out of place. And we all, like, everyone was huddled around me, and we all saw my kneecap like over here, like on the inside. I was just like, whoa. And as I sat back down, extended my leg, popped back into place, and I was just like, okay, for sure, I'm done. And yeah, I was just like, bro, this is not it. Like, it wasn't supposed to happen at that time. It was the worst time to happen because, like I said, we had the competition. Xavier's party was just around the corner in like 2 weeks. And I was like, bro, now I'm going to be like out. I was hopeful, and I was like, all right, it's just a little MCL sprain because it shifted inwards. And I was like, that's it. I'll be fine. We end up going to the ER, and they obviously confirmed that nothing's broken. So as I'm in the ER, I'm like, hey, they're running some tests. They do the ACL test, and I didn't feel any pain, and I was like, all right, I'm good. But when they did the MCL test, I was a little guarded, and I knew it just felt, it was super unstable. And so I'm just trying to get out at that point. Then a doctor comes in, and she's like, all right, calls in the next doctor. That next doctor was a little bit of a, like, le valía madre or whatever. Just didn't really care. That's kind of how I saw it. Because she was trying to like say, hey, check this out. Let's put him in a straight leg. He was like, nah, he's probably fine. Just give him a regular brace. Then the third doctor comes in, and then he was like, runs a couple tests on me. He's like, all right, put him in a straight leg. Then they're arguing outside, like, yes, no, maybe so. But by that time, they already had ordered a regular brace. So I had the regular brace, and I was just like, whatever, like, I'm out of here. Thank you guys. And yeah, they just, I was trying to get out. I was trying to go home, to be honest. I was pretty aguitado. So I go home, and then, yeah, knees just totally destroyed. And obviously the adrenaline was allowing me to kind of move a little bit. I showered, but then the next days came, and that was tough just because the swelling came, I couldn't move my knee. I couldn't move my leg, and it was just, I was out. It was a tough time. And then I didn't go get an MRI until 3 weeks into the injury, just because I found out my insurance was still good, and I was like, bro, I could have gone right away. You know, I kind of fucked myself by not really going and taking action right away. But then again, I was just looking at it as an experiment. I was like, let's see if I can fix my knees. And I think I was just more mad that I'm over here promoting these boards, and it's like, hey, let's help your knees. And the thing is that I wasn't using my boards as much. I've been caught up on building the boards and that whole system, just because that's been a whole process within itself. But yeah, I was just in disbelief. I still am in disbelief. So I get my MRI, get my results like 2 weeks, a week later. And even with that, I was expecting a call or whatever. And then I called in, they're like, oh yeah, just come get your results. And I was like, bruh, I'm over here just wasting time. Got my results, and that was it. I saw everything that happened, and I was just like, wow. Destroyed ACL, LCL, MPR, meniscus. And I was like, this is pretty gnarly. No wonder I was feeling the pains I was feeling. But the cool thing is that throughout my, I guess, the first 2 months of recovery, I was able to use the board to really just be able to do something basic as far as resting it, just because when you're injured, I'm not sure if you guys have ever had a knee injury like that, but you gotta have your leg just in some sort of position where it's comfortable. And yeah, the boards were helping me in the beginning, and they were actually able to really show me a little bit more of what they can do, or what you could do with the boards. So that was pretty cool. But now we are just about 3 months into this, and I'm walking now. I'm able to squat a little bit deeper. I'm able to do a little bit more. I went for my checkup, and doctor said that surprisingly my ACL, and it feels like it's there, it feels intact and strong-ish. But when he was looking at the MRI, he said it was interesting. There's a lot going on, but it feels fine. He was recommended, yeah, they recommended for me to do a meniscus cleanup or do the full ACL surgery. I am on the fence on both. I think I should have taken that meniscus one, but the only reason I didn't take it is because I'm behind on the boards. I'm not where I need to be able to go down again, because I was obviously, I couldn't do anything for 2 months, and that, luckily I didn't get that many orders, and the orders I did have, I already had the boards. But I don't want to get behind anymore. I'm barely catching up, and yeah, that was a pretty tough time. This is a tough situation. A lot of times I am feeling down, and I'm like hopeless, but then I'm hopeful. And I just got to remind myself that it's a journey, it's a long one. I need to be careful. That way I don't re-injure it. And I'm in the mindset of, let me try to heal it as much as possible. If I do injure it a little bit down the road, let's go in on the full surgery. But yeah, it's interesting. But this is where we're at currently. And for that reason, I wasn't able to bring out the content that I wanted to do. And I feel like right before the injury, I was about to peak. I was about to take off with everything. I was getting my setup ready. I was getting right with this. I had just figured out some things that I was trying to figure out with the boards. But things happen for a reason. I had been wanting to stop playing basketball, and I wasn't. The universe said, you're gonna stop. So now I haven't played basketball, and I don't think I'm gonna play basketball for another couple months, a year maybe. And that is that, guys. So I thank you guys for coming on and watching this video. If you guys made it this far, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are interested in seeing. That way I have a better idea of what I need to do, because the more I think about what I want to do, the harder it is, because the things that I wanted to do kind of involves a lot of physical activity and me moving and me doing all that. So now I'm a little bit more stationary. So I can just take you through the process of other things, and I can just get to learn how to make videos a little bit better and that whole game. But that was that. So thanks again for coming on to the video, and I will see you guys on the next one. See ya.